video in the Hepburn Mineral Springs Reserve. So the atrocious new Locarno, but the big fat mess that they made with the paths and what was meant to be sort of the European pleasure gardens area now has this completely different path structure with really dangerous fire plants, where this used to be the place where you would come to in a squeeze, and the bottling plant archaeological site completely messed up, and the disabled parking that got you really close to the springs, which was also a few spots for people filling bottles, has been removed and is now all the way up there. So you've got to come down the big fat hill with your bottles, walk all the way down to practically the pavilion where the path comes out, and walk all the way back along here. Epic fail, Hepburn Shire, and I don't know why Delp and especially Heritage Victoria let them do that, especially after what they did to the sound shell. So this used to be all azaleas and rhododendrons, and they've just stuck in a cherry for some bizarre reason where it used to be lawn. At least there is still some of the old picnic sets left from the 30s and 50s committees. The Walling Bridge is still here, but as I said before, the path structure that used to be there up that hill here is gone, and they've mangled the Walling Steps. This is where the Spa Centre Town sign used to be. Now it's this maze of grass. And again, one of the new weird paths comes out either at steps and the handrails are gone, or to here, and you used to be able to go straight down to the bridge, so I don't know why they need to put in that hedging. And all these lights haven't been working for years. Now you see some strange stones just plonked around. Well, they're actually part of it was meant to be the entrance to the bathhouse works. It was an artwork by Petrus Spronk, and rather than have it where it was meant to be, they've just dotted it around in a whole other part of the reserve, and it doesn't quite make sense. And here is another bit of the reserve that God knows what they've done. They've pulled out some trees and things along here. You can sort of see remnants of some of the stone walling, but it's just been a disaster. And as you can see, they're not doing much about the Scotch thistles that are just invading everywhere and have been reported. Again, this weird grass blocking off sort of access towards the spring. The new naturalised creek, I don't have an issue with, but the density of the planting of these new trees, I don't think they realise how big these trees get. They probably need to be a little bit further apart. And again, just weird fascination with grass, and ugly grass, which is juxtaposed with the actual design setting of this state heritage listed reserve, including for social significance, yet they just mess all the things that people love about it. And the quality of the workmanship. This path isn't even a year old, I don't think. I might upset my magpies here, but I'm pretty sure this is Laurie's stone. So our lovely Laurie Sullivan, yes. When I was young, you drove in where the kiosk is now. That's where the Melbourne visitors parked their cars, real old cars, with the handbrake out the side, crank to start. The drivers would have big goggles and white coats. Did you have any trouble coming up, Bill? No, Jack, pretty right. Only had 2 punctures. The roads weren't sealed in those days, and motor tyres weren't treaded like they are now. They were blue. I miss our lorry. There are blackberries everywhere, not just the thistles. Blackberries, bridal creeper, ivy, you name it. And all of the little saplings growing up in the New Creek Works. They better remove them soon or they will be in trouble. But if they can't fix lights in 2 years, they're not going to do that. More of the lights through the main part of the reserve, really, that don't work. It's always suspicious because the lights always work at the bathhouse and near the pavilion, but never actually at the springs or the area where the local community goes. So remember, these lights don't work and haven't for years. So you come down a pretty dodgy path. This used to be terrace seating and you can actually get down to the springs from here. But they've now turned it into a bit of a slope, yet there is no railing or anything to stop you going down through there, and at night it would be a bit dicey. But really, I don't think it's a great safety response either. And then pretty well along here every now and then you can see the nails starting to pop up. You'll see quite a few that are completely off or lost nails. Don't know the last time they ever really checked or walked along here. And you can see from the state of the gutter and a few other things that I don't think they've been on any of these paths for a while. This one goes up to the bridge, but I'm going to go back down this way. And here's another example. One 3/4 off, one popping up and out. And we see the old caretaker's cottage where there was some work done to remove weeds, and you'll see soon how bad the weeds are. Wildlings just popping up everywhere. Wildlings, wildlings, wildlings. Weedy creeper everywhere. Bits of ivy, blackberries over the public path, more blackberries, blackberries flowering and fruiting, ivy spreading. There's no entry gate, which is never shut, and you can see all of the lovely blackberries and weeds down through here, and no excuse. You can see that they drive down here all the time. It's a maintained track, no excuse to let this go like this. More blackberries. And I'm not going to go up the steps to Park Avenue, which is a disgrace, and I should show you the drainage some other time. But I'll just do a little bit of Lovers Lane. Again, wildlings everywhere. This used to have a fence, but they knocked the fence down. Knocked down fence, unsafe slope.